All right, y'all, welcome back to another PC build. And in today's video, no face, just the hand. And yeah, so you guys gonna have to talk to the hand. Well, hold up. That's an old joke, and yeah, I'm showing my age. But let's get into the PC build. So today I'm trying to build a pretty wild gaming PC around the Intel i7-1700F, which is a chip that's still an absolute beast. Get it? Wild gaming PC beast. Get it? Get it? All right. Enough with the jokes. But yeah, this Intel CPU still holds up today, even though the 13th gen, 14th gen, and Ultra is out. This CPU still gives you great performance, and I'm going to be pairing it with the RX 9600 XT 16 gig variant. Now, if you wonder where the CPU is, it's still in the motherboard. Look, I don't really like to take CPUs out of motherboards and put them back in. There's just so many things could go wrong. So if I could just leave it in, I'm just going to leave it in. But yeah, let's just say that the build, I don't think is going to go exactly how I planned. And this is because the case that I bought just feels and looks way too small. We're going to get into that. That's the Aura GC5. And I bought it because it had an LCD screen, but it was cheap. And with things that are cheap, they're usually cheaply made. And I just don't think I'm going to have a fun time building it. But we're going to get through all that. So let's go through what I use for this build. As you can see, I used a mixture of new and used parts. And once again, this was all about getting the best performance per dollar without going broke. And I feel like I kind of overpaid for the CPU. But other than that, I think I hit my goal. And then the GPU I bought brand new. But we'll get into it. And now this is where I messed up. I picked up this case off a Newegg for $39.99 before taxes, $42.79 after taxes. It's the Game DS. I hate pronouncing these names. I know I botched them a lot. Aura GC5 case. And normally it's $60. And yeah, it looks cool. And the reason I bought it because it came with a CPU and GPU temperature display on the front, and the mesh is the only thing that looks premium, and it feels so nice. It does come with some tempered glass, and I just thought about this. It comes with just regular puke RGB rainbow colored fans, which now I'm thinking about it, it just makes it worse because now I gotta add fans, and that's just adding more to the build. Oh, we're going to get into that later. Like I said, I don't think this is going as planned. But other than that, the case is smaller than it looks online. It's one of those builds where you're fighting cables, fans, side panels, all at once. And it's just a struggle. But a big mistake on my part, but we're going to make it work. Don't worry, we are going to make it work. So yeah, that is the i7-12700F, and it comes with 12 cores, 8 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores. It's clocked standard at 3.6 gigahertz, but can max out at 5.0 gigahertz under a steady load. And it does use up 125 watts. Now I got this off from Macari for $158.75, but I have found out that the price has fallen to 200 or lower on the new market. If you go to Newegg, I have seen these as low as $179.99. So I did save some money because I only purchased that at $158.75 off of Macari. And yeah, it came in the mail. He packaged it well. And yeah, honestly, this is one of the best bang for buck CPUs you can get right now, especially on the used market. And even on the new market, if it's 200, if you find it for under $200, and that if you're willing to go with Intel and an older generation. I tend to like that generation just because the Ultra series was so bad, and the 12 didn't have as much problems as the 14th generation. And yeah, for the motherboard, this is the Asus Prime B760M, and that just stands for Micro AAX motherboard. Now this is a chopped down version of a motherboard. It doesn't come with any LED lights to help you troubleshoot or anything like that. It comes with the minimum necessary ports needed, but it does have Wi-Fi, and I do support the company that sells these refurbished. I found this one on Amazon, and I have found them on eBay also, but this was $85.59 on Amazon. Now on Amazon or eBay, I don't know what the difference is between refurbished, used, and renewed, but I'm guessing they just dust it off, put it back in the box, and someone test it. But not this one. This one is actually sent back to Aces, and this was actually told to me from the manufacturer. I had to call them one time and get a replacement. So coming from the Intel motherboards, I haven't really found them under $100. And even the ones I find for $100 is DDR4, but this one is DDR5. So we're gonna hook it up. I have tested it before, so I'm pretty sure it works. I just haven't put it under load. So let's get to it. All right, for the RAM, I grabbed this King's Bank. I grabbed these King's Bank. They're 2 by 16 gigabytes. They're clocked at 6,000 mega transfers per second. And yeah, it came off a Newegg. Now, it's not the biggest brand name out there, but it's cheaper than the rest, and they do go on sale for under $70. I did get this for $69.54, and yeah, it's DDR5 if I didn't say that. And they make some good stuff, King Spec, and for that price, it should get the job done. So yeah, for the storage, I just went with the Patriot P400 Lite. It was cheap. It was $51.35. Now it's 1 TB, and it is Gen 4, but it only runs at 3,500 megabytes per second. And if you know, third gen can run at that speed, so it is what it is. And there shouldn't be no bottleneck or anything like that. It should run games pretty fast. But I want to talk about power supplies. This one's becoming a rinse and repeat PSU for me. Honestly, it is the Raid Max Cobra 650 watt, 80 plus cold certified. It is PCIe Gen 5 ready, and I get it for $39.99. After taxes is $42.79 on Newegg. Look, it's cheap, but it is gold rated, and I have used them in multiple builds and had zero problems. And just to be honest with you, if they keep these around $39.99 before taxes, I'm going to keep grabbing them. No hezzy, like none whatsoever. Reaper. So yeah, I bought the power cooler Reaper AMD Radeon RX 9600 XT. And now this is the 16 gigabyte variant. Comes with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and that's DDR6. So now for the big boy, I grabbed this on Amazon Prime Day for $349.99, which after taxes came up to $374.79. And thank you, Prime Day, for putting this on sale for MSRP. Look, man, this usually comes around 10 to 50 bucks more, specifically for this GPU, and other GPUs could even go higher than that. And I actually wanted to get a 3-fan version off of Amazon for MSRP during Prime Day, but I had to stick with the 2-fan because yeah, that case is too small. If this case allows me, I'm gonna put this 3-fan RX 9060 XT in it. This is the 8 gigabyte variant. And if you know this channel, then I do pin some graphics cards against some competitors, or just other graphics cards, just to show y'all the difference and what type of deal you're getting out of them. And this graphics card only cost me $200. I might make a video after that. It's the OC version, so it's overclocked. It's 8 gigabytes, but it's overclocked. So rounding off the parts, I try to put a 240 AIO in there, but it only fits a 360 apparently. That's weird. So then I try to get a tower cooler I purchased off of Whoop, but apparently that was a return and it was the wrong product in there. And lastly, yeah, I got cable extensions. So with the CPU still in there, I don't have to work as hard. right, so I started off with Battlefield 6 and I had it on the high preset with no upscaling, and it averaged in the 80s into the 90s. And as you can see, weirdly, the 8 GB version was doing slightly better, and that's just because it's an OC version. And as you can see, it's not using as much VRAM in this game, so they're basically the same card. um that I tried out was Expedition 33, and it handled this game very well. This was also no upscaling, so no FSR. It was just running native TAA anti-alias, and it was on a high preset, and it was maintaining over 60 frames per second on both cards. Like I said, the cards are the same, and it was also even handling the cinema part. It was clocked at 30 frames, but it was still doing well in the cinema parts. So this game is a perfect example why the 16 GB version is better than the 8. Obviously 16 is better than 8, but this really shows you the difference in the card. So when I just did regular high settings with FSR 2.1, they were maintaining over 110 frames per second. But then when I actually switched on ray tracing with high settings FSR, the 8 GB couldn't maintain 60 frames per second, but the 16 GB handled it just fine. So this just shows you why the 16 version is better. I know the 8 is OC, but yeah. All right, so we just got finished testing, and now that was a very small test sample, mainly because I only tried out 3 different games, and that's just because I got stuck on Battlefield 6. I'm just trying to get better, and I'm having fun with that game, so I only got done with 3 games. Now you might have noticed something with the 9060 XT 8 GB and the 9060 XT 16 GB, and the frames were different, and the 9060 XT 8 GB was actually getting higher frames. And there's 2 reasons for this, and I'm gonna tell you right now. The main reason is it's practically the same card. So when you're playing these esport titles, you're not going to see much different because it doesn't utilize most of the VRAM. The VRAM sticks around at 6 to 8 VRAMs, and both of them are similar. And the second reason is, if you notice, the 9060 8 GB was the OC variant, and the 16 GB was just regular. So OC is actually just for overclock, so it is slightly overclocked. So if you was wondering whether you should get an overclocked version or not, this actually shows you that the overclocked version at the same price will do quite better. But you can overclock the lesser version to the same things, but it's already overclocked from the manufacturer. And I just wanted to point that out mainly. All right, so let's just talk about the case real quick. I don't really like the case, and that's mainly because it is so narrow. It's a full ATX case, and the height is fine, but the width just it gave it a lot of problems. First, the look. Now, I am happy I did put some garnets in here. It does help with the aesthetics, and it also hides the cores that are behind it because they will be exposed. Another thing is, I wish I went with a full ATX. I know the case was full ATX, but because it looks smaller, I thought I could get away with a micro ATX. But as you can see, a lot of cores are exposed at the bottom. And I do wish I went with a 3-fan. I was just afraid it wasn't going to fit. And you can notice I didn't use a AIO cooler on here. I had a 240, but it only fits 360, not 240. So I did have to get this for $20. It will show up in the full price. I got it from Best Buy. Other than that, the cable management was fine because it is narrow. Stuffing all the cords in the bottom was a hassle, so I would reconsider getting cable extensions. But let's talk about the front. So surprisingly, it does have enough airflow in it, and it feels good up front. It looks good up front. The LCD screen looks good, and it's pretty accurate. The only thing is it doesn't show the GPU. As you can see, it shows 00. I think the Zeus cast just isn't updated for the 9060 series. So Once they update it, it should be fine. Other than that, it's true 1440p gaming machine, runs smoothly, and Battlefield ran great. I currently have it listed for $1,050 on Facebook Marketplace. I might lower it to 1,000. I'm not gonna list it on Joe just because it doesn't make sense. If I list it for the price I want, like at 1,100, I'm just not gonna make that much back. So I just gonna keep it locally. Uh, all right, so yeah, the case sucked, and I think the case was holding me back because on Facebook Marketplace in 3 weeks, I only got 52 views, and I really think it was just the case. So I decided to do a whole case swap. I had this Red Dragon case that I got on Black Friday sale for $41.33. It's a Red Dragon CA 606, and that is a full ATX case. That's a fish tank style, and it's also full ATX. So I decided to get an Asus Z 790 fee case that I got for 101.64. So I just swapped all of those in there, and as you can see before the swap, the PC cost $870.60. But we could take out these fans, then we could take out the case, and then we could take out the motherboard, and we'll switch the motherboard with the 101.64 plus the case is 41.33. The case came with fans. And so now our price is $865.89. Yeah, the case just looks better this way. So, yep. Until next time, y'all, it's your boy Chef. Are you dead?